Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A new proposal is being discussed to provide bonus money to essential workers in Kentucky, but how many lawmakers think this is a good idea? Chelsea Jones shares those reactions with us.
Governor Amy Beshear has proposed using $400 million of American Rescue Plan money to reward essential workers. It will pay bonuses to those who have worked through the pandemic, including teachers, first responders, grocery store employees, and medical staff.
And it's been more dangerous to those individuals during this pandemic than ever before. So it is a big old thank you. Hopefully it's an attaboy and an attagirl, and keep it up.
Dr. James Borders, president of the Lexington Medical Society, believes a financial incentive could encourage medical workers to stay on the front lines. He says the pandemic has placed a lot of strain on workers, forcing some to quit.
And then they have to come in to face the pandemic, which for others is a second-hand experience, but for them it's first-hand. So they deal with the loss and the feeling of facing it day in and day out, wondering when it's going to end.
The next question now is how many lawmakers will support the proposals. Republican State Representative Kim King says it sounds like a good idea, but she needs to look at the details.
Well, a lot of my constituents have been saying over the last 18 months they think it's best to reward the people that have been working and not the ones necessarily that have been unable to work or have chosen not to work over the last 18 months.
Beshear said he and state lawmakers would still have to work out details, such as who would qualify for the money and how much they would get. In Lexington, Chelsea Jones, WKYT.
The proposal won't come up before the General Assembly until the regular session in January. Well, 4 of our counties are now in the orange zone. Some progress in this latest surge of COVID-19, and the positivity rate continues to decline as well. Governor Beshear announced 2,582 new cases of COVID today, increasing the statewide total to 702,951. There were 15 new deaths reported today, bringing the death toll to 8,921. Governor Beshear shared that among those 15 Kentuckians that died, 1 was only 29 years old. The positivity rate is a little more than 9%. You can always find the latest COVID information on our website at WYMT.com.
Cloudy skies continue through the evening hours as that sun begins to set, and we look to the south for more showers beginning to move in. I-75 camera at Mount Vernon. You see the overcast that's with us. Roads are dry, but we are seeing those clouds in the sky. Temperatures out there low to middle 70s. We're starting to drop those temperatures further north now that we're starting to see that cloud cover on the increase. You see that on satellite and radar with those showers slowly also trying to work north, but they've mostly been contained so far into West Virginia and Southwest Virginia. So low to middle 60s for us tonight. Showers and storms continue, and we've got more on the way as we go through the work week. I'll have the details on those coming up in just a bit. Steve?
Evan, thank you. Kentucky State Police are investigating a kidnapping situation involving a 12-year-old girl that occurred yesterday in Leslie County. Troopers say they received a call from a mother telling them her daughter was missing from their home. While investigating, troopers learned she left with someone in a white Ford pickup truck, and police in London were able to locate that truck and then discovered the girl was with 20-year-old Noah Foote from Tennessee. While interviewing the two, troopers discovered that Foote was planning to take the girl back with him to Tennessee to live with him. Foote is charged with 1 count of kidnapping a minor. A stabbing left one person dead in Floyd County. Troopers say they received a call around 3:30 yesterday morning about a potential stabbing. While investigating, they determined that 28-year-old Joshua Holbrook was stabbed during a fight with Danny Waddles. The Floyd County coroner pronounced Holbrook dead at the scene. Waddles is charged with murder. We have an update on a death investigation underway in Laurel County. The reward for any information about the death of 62-year-old Brian McCarty is now increased to $14,000. That's up from $10,000. McCarty was found dead of multiple gunshot wounds on Saturday, September 25th. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. A mother is facing charges after her child almost overdosed on drugs Sunday afternoon. Pikeville Medical Center staff members called police after discovering that the child had a drug in their system. Hospital staff needed to give the child Narcan. 24-year-old Miranda Lynn Garrett, the mother, claimed the child got a hold of a bag with the drugs inside. There's no word on the child's condition. Emergency crews in Lee County are taking extra measures to ensure everyone's safety. Lee County Emergency Management, along with Search and Rescue and the Fire Department, are implementing a passport accountability system, allowing those in charge of a scene to know who is there at all times. The system works by using a board along with passports for both people and crews. Lee County Emergency Management Director John Allen says this will help them stay organized amid chaos.
We do have a lot going on sometimes in our instance over here, and we also rely a lot on mutual aid. So this will allow us to track not only our personnel, but personnel that are coming into our geographical area here to assist us to make sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be and on the appropriate assignments.
Allen says this is a national program that he hopes to see adopted regionally. We'll have more on this tonight at 11. A local business is remembering a local hero. In 2018, Officer Scotty Hamilton with the Pikeville Police Department was shot and killed in the line of duty. Since that day, none of his fellow officers have forgotten about the sacrifices he made. Recently, Faith Tax in downtown Pikeville put together a memorial near its front door on 111 Pike Street, the same street number as Officer Hamilton's unit number.
They put a lot of effort and heart into it to remember him in that manner. A hero remembered is one that's never forgotten, and this business has stepped up, and everybody that sees it is smiling. All the officers were pleased us to death to see that a business would do this, especially right across from the police station.
Officer Khan said this display should remain as a permanent fixture in the city of Pikeville, and the department is happy to see that Officer Hamilton will never be forgotten in the community. This month is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, the time to encourage folks to seek and adopt a dog who is looking for a loving home. WYMT's Vivica Grayson stopped by one Eastern Kentucky shelter and has more on how you can do your part to help a dog in need.
You or someone you know may be looking to add a furry companion.
Keep an open mind. Shelter work is super hard. It's sometimes unforgiving. And so when you come into a shelter, it's gonna be a lot different than what you're expecting, especially rural Appalachian shelters.
But in searching, there may be misconceptions about shelter dogs.
If people will just get past the front door and get past the cages and see the animals, it'll make a difference.
That is why this month is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, to change this perception.
It's a wonderful way to get the word out to instead of going to a pet store, instead of going to a breeder, go to the shelter. Those are dogs that come here deserve a second chance.
But remembering there are other ways to help a shelter if you or a friend are not ready to take on such a big responsibility.
We always need treats. Things outside of the box that not a lot of people think of, that's an expenditure that we may not be able to have right now.
And if donating money is not an option for you, there are other ways to lend a helping hand.
Our biggest thing is donate. You know, if you're not able to adopt, you're not able to foster, you're not able to physically come down here and help, you know, we have it set up to where you can donate online even.
All to give our canine friends a new home.
A shelter dog, a rescue dog, is the most grateful animal in the world. They know they've been given a second chance. And if you give them time to acclimate to your household, your family, you can just see them blossom.
A furry good deed to help an animal in need. In Harlan County, Vivica Grayson, WYMT Mountain News.
Williams says there are around 4 dogs available for adoption right now, as well as several cats. Kentucky state officials are promoting Operation Crash Reduction to remind drivers of the importance of seatbelt use and attentiveness behind the wheel. From 2015 to 2019, October was the deadliest month for car crashes in our region. Last year alone saw 270 injuries and 8 deaths during the October 9th through 12th weekend in Kentucky. Officials at the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration say that, when worn correctly, seatbelts make you 45 to 60% safer during a crash.
We try to get you to wear your seatbelt because it's a good idea. Less than 2 seconds when you get in your car, if you're in a crash, that's the most important decision that you'll have made that day.
As part of the campaign, law enforcement will conduct high-visibility seatbelt enforcement stops. Tyler Watts is a math teacher to his students, but Post-it Picasso to the Whitesburg community. WYMT's Jade Saylor talked with him about using Post-it notes to create works of art.
Post-it notes serve a variety of purposes, but for Letcher Elementary School teacher Tyler Watts, they are resources for teaching math and creating art.
We were learning about lines of symmetry one day, and we decided to make line symmetric figures out of Post-it notes. And that's kind of where the idea came from.
Tyler is well known in the community as Post-it Picasso for creating art with Post-it notes. But what you may not know is his math students play a big part in the fundamentals of the projects coming to life.
It's the best way that I could tie area and perimeter and estimation and rounding and put it to life to where the students can see it, really happen in front of them.
He has created many themes, but primarily does holidays.
I think it's an awesome way to just do something big for the community. Kids can drive by and see something huge that they had a part in, and when they can see math come to life, that's what it's all about.
And Tyler dedicated his most recent piece of work to WYMT's own Brandon Robinson. He says when he did a Peanuts Christmas Post-it art a few years back, Brandon loved it and shared he was a big fan of the movie. Tyler never forgot about that and wanted this to be for him.
This is all for B-Rob. He's a huge inspiration to this community. He's inspired me a whole lot just by his faith. It speaks measures about what kind of person he is. He looks like he never has a bad day. And that inspires me, so just want to do something nice for him.
The Peanuts Halloween Post-it art is on the June Buchanan School at Alice Lloyd College. In Letcher County, Jade Saylor, WYMT Mountain News.
I'm sure Brandon really appreciates that too. And by the way, this morning he was back in the studio for the first time since late August. Of course, he's been dealing with some health issues. Now, Tyler says he couldn't do any of this without his students and the 3M plant in Cynthiana, Kentucky, for backing him on all of his projects.
It was great to have B-Rob back in the building today as well. It's been a busy few days, though, for Pinpoint Doppler. We've got a few more busy days ahead. I'll have the latest straight ahead. And how a business owner is trying to help their employee's brother escape the Taliban in Afghanistan. Plus, it might feel like they were always here, but stink bugs are making a comeback more now than ever before.